living trapped in bills, counting every penny, while others multiply money with almost no effort. The difference is rarely in luck, but almost always in habits. There are seemingly harmless attitudes that, over time, build an invisible prison. And the most dangerous thing, it's that they seem normal. 7 behaviors that keep millions stagnant, while the rich avoid them as if they were avoiding poison. If you want to understand what is holding you back and how to really change it, this video goes straight to the point. Before diving into these uncomfortable truths, you can subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content that can change the course of your financial life. Let's get started. First habit: treating money as an enemy. From an early age, many people hear phrases like, "Money is the root of all evil." Those who have a lot of money are the ones who have stepped on someone else. It's better to be happy than rich. These phrases stick in their minds like absolute truths, but no one stops to think, where did these ideas come from? Who taught you this? And was this person financially free? This type of thinking creates a toxic relationship with money. The person grows up afraid of earning too much, guilty of charging for their own work, ashamed of saying they want to get rich. They start to think that seeking money is a sign of selfishness, that wanting more is wrong. And what happens? Unconsciously, they sabotage themselves. They turn down opportunities. They avoid growing. It's not a lack of ability. It's an invisible mental block. Meanwhile, those who prosper understand what few understand. Money is neither morally good nor bad. It's like a knife. It can cut bread or hurt someone. It depends on who's using it. Rich people see money as an extension of their impact. More money means more freedom, more time, more choices, more opportunities to help on a real scale. And here's a point that almost no one talks about. Good people, when they get rich, don't become bad. They become even more generous. But if they reject money for fear of becoming corrupt, guess who ends up concentrating the power? Many people are trying to make money with a mindset that, deep down, hates the idea of having money. And that's like trying to drive with the handbrake on. Real change doesn't start with reading books about finance or opening a brokerage account. It starts when you stop seeing money as the villain and start treating it as an ally. A resource that, when used consciously, brings you closer to the life you truly want to live. But recognizing this is only the first step, because even those who change their mindset can still get stuck in a cycle that repeats itself month after month. And it has everything to do with the calendar. The scene repeats itself like a rehearsed script. The salary drops. A brief sigh of relief comes. Now I can breathe. But all you have to do is pay your fixed bills, buy the basics, and allow yourself a little pleasure like a dinner out, a new subscription, maybe a blouse that you deserve. And in a few days, your balance is already going downhill. From relief to hardship in a matter of weeks. Every month, every year. A lifetime. This cycle silently imprisons millions of people. It's not extreme poverty, but it's not freedom either. It's a kind of invisible prison where the worker is always close to going broke, even when they earn okay. The most dangerous thing, this lifestyle is normalized, even romanticized. Phrases like, "at least my salary dropped," or "working just to pay bills," have become jokes on social media. But behind the joke, there's a cruel reality. Those who live waiting for their next paycheck never have the time, energy, or vision to build something bigger. Now comes the shock. Many people think they need to earn more to get out of this cycle. But it's not just about how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you earn. Rich people understand this early on. They don't use their salary as a point of arrival. They use it as leverage. Even with little, they start investing. They create sources of parallel income. They buy assets before buying comfort. Meanwhile, the middle class often does the opposite. They buy comfort first and only think about investing when they have left over, which of course almost never happens. Strong phrase: those who live waiting for a salary will never have time to learn to live off dividends. Do you want a mental image to understand the difference? Imagine two people in the desert. One has a bottle of water and drinks it all at once. The other drinks only what is necessary and uses the rest to find a spring. The first survives for hours. The second, for years. This is the difference between those who spend their salary and those who plant it. And there's more. Living waiting for a salary puts life in survival mode. You start making decisions based on what you can afford now and not on what will take you further. This kills dreams, delays plans, and traps you in a job you hate, because you need the deposit at the end of the month. But getting out of this cycle doesn't just depend on investing. There is a classic mistake that seems prudent, but that is leaving many people stuck in the same place, and you may be making it now, thinking you are protecting yourself. Third habit, saving money. Instead of investing, there's a phrase that many people say with pride, "I'm saving." But when you ask where that money is, the answer is almost always the same, in my checking account. Or, even worse, sitting in a savings account that barely keeps up with inflation. It's the famous modern mattress, digital, polished, but still passive. And here's the problem. Saving money is not the same as growing money. It's like collecting buckets of leaky water while you sleep. Inflation drains everything, no matter how much you save. If money doesn't work for you, it gets weaker every day. Real example. If you left $10,000 sitting in the bank in 2019 and didn't touch that amount anymore, today you could buy less gas, less food, less anything with that amount. You saved the money, but you lost part of what it could do for you. Now, here's the twist. The rich are not obsessed with saving. They are obsessed with multiplying. They save, yes, but with a purpose. Their money has a plan, a function, and an objective. Each dollar is seen as a small worker, and if this employee is idle, not generating a return, he is being fired. This vision changes everything. Stop being afraid of investing and start being afraid of not investing. Stop seeking security in the balance of the account and start seeking real growth. But be careful. This does not mean investing anyhow, because the next mistake is subtle and destroys results before they even appear. There are people who even invest, but stumble into such an emotional trap that they do not even realize they are sabotaging their own money, and that is where habit number 4 comes in. The desire for status is silent, but powerful, and often it speaks louder than reason. It's that urge to have the latest car, even if the installment takes up half of your salary, to buy the latest iPhone with 24 installments on your credit card, to go out to dinner in expensive places just to post the dish on Instagram, and then spend the week eating instant noodles. This is the inflated lifestyle, a financial theater, where you live like a rich person without having the structure of one. And do you know what's crueler? This quest to appear successful doesn't come from pure vanity. Often it comes from fear. Fear of appearing unsuccessful, fear of being seen as too poor, fear of not fitting into the social bubble. But here's the harsh and liberating truth. Those who pretend to be rich are usually moving away from true wealth. It's as if the money that should build the future is being used to decorate the present. Meanwhile, what about the real millionaires? Many are living with an almost invisible simplicity. Comfortable sneakers, basic t-shirts, ordinary cars. Not because they can't afford luxury, but because they don't need it to prove anything to anyone. They understand that every dollar spent to appear rich is one less dollar being invested to be rich. Do you want a real example? Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Today, he could literally buy any mansion on the planet, but he chooses to stay there, because he understands that the house does not define anyone's worth. The wealth does. Those who try to appear rich spend like rich people, but accumulate like poor people. Those who accept appearing simple accumulate like rich people, and one day they no longer need to prove anything. But the next habit is even more treacherous. It appears generous, even noble, but it is ruining the financial future of those who fall into this trap. Fifth habit: helping everyone before helping yourself. There is a silent dilemma that keeps many people in the same place: the fear of appearing selfish. And because of this, thousands of people compromise their own financial security to help others with money they don't actually have. It's the loan to the cousin just this month. It's the credit card loan to the friend who will pay it back as soon as he can. It's the bill paid for the relative who always shows up with a new emergency. But here's an uncomfortable truth: it's not your job to fix everyone's financial life. And what's more, you can't save anyone if you're drowning too. Trying to help everyone before taking care of your own base is like jumping out of a plane and handing your parachute to someone else. Is it noble? Maybe. But it's also financially suicidal. Poor people in general were taught to sacrifice themselves for others as a test of character. The rich, on the other hand, learn something different. First, you build your stability. Then, you help with real power. Real help is not about putting out fires with a leaky bucket. It is about having a water tank ready and offering it when needed, without compromising the essentials. Empathy is not about destroying yourself for someone. It is about becoming strong enough to lift others up later. And this is not coldness. This is strategy. It is emotional and financial maturity. Because in the end, those who give more than they can end up having to ask for it back. And no one grows that way. But even those who have already understood this can fall into an even more dangerous habit. It seems efficient, practical, even rational, but it is slowly eating away at your money without making any noise. Trading time for money is the basic model for most people. Selling hours, energy, and effort in exchange for a paycheck. At first, it seems like the only option, and indeed, a job offers stability, benefits, and a sense of security. But here's the problem. Living your entire life stuck in this model is a silent and extremely limiting trap. Why? Because there is a clear and invisible limit: time. There are only 24 hours in a day. If the value of your time doesn't increase, neither will your income. And even if your salary increases, there will come a time when the effort required will be greater, and the rest, less. Now take a look at those who think differently. Instead of focusing only on earning more overtime, the rich ask, how do I make my money work for me when I'm not working? They build what we call passive income, sources of money that don't depend on your physical presence. This could be investing in dividend-paying stocks, rented properties, a business that operates with a team, or even digital products that sell themselves. Imagine this: investing $500 a month consistently in dividend-paying stocks. In 10 to 15 years, this could generate a monthly income that arrives without you having to get out of bed while you sleep, travel, or simply live your life. It's the difference between selling time and selling results. The first is limited. The second, unlimited. Those who are stuck in the first model live a cycle that is difficult to break. To earn more, they have to work more, and they never have time to think about how to create these assets. A thought-provoking phrase. Trading time for money is the path of survivors. Making money work for you is the path of true wealth builders. And finally, the most common habit among those who do not escape poverty, and also the most difficult to recognize, because it hurts pride and challenges self-criticism. Our seventh habit: blaming everyone and everything for your situation. When life is not going well, it is almost automatic to point the finger outside. The government is corrupt. The economy is bad. My parents never taught me about money. If I had been lucky, everything would be different. These phrases are a comfort, a way of trying to explain what seems unfair, but they are also an invisible prison. What separates those who get stuck in this trap from those who move forward is the ability to take responsibility, even in the face of chaos. The rich know this. They understand that the world will never be perfect to begin with, and even when the context is difficult, they find ways to learn, adapt, and act. While many remain paralyzed waiting for conditions to improve, They make concrete decisions even with few resources, little information, or little certainty. Shifting the blame to external factors may even alleviate the momentary pain, but it does not solve anything. It is an unconscious choice that keeps people in cycles of stagnation. It's like being in the rain and wasting energy complaining about the weather while someone else is building a shelter to protect themselves. Quote to remember: while one person blames the rain, the other learns to build a shelter. And this difference is the basis of the mindset that separates those who thrive from those who get stuck. Now that these 7 habits have been revealed, the path is before you. But be careful. Change begins with a simple decision that many are afraid to make. These 7 habits aren't just bad money decisions. They're invisible legacies. Behaviors that most people learned without realizing it in childhood, in the environment they grew up in conversations they overheard over and over again. They're habits that dress up as normal, that seem like a way of life when in fact they're silent traps. And the most dangerous thing is that they're comfortable. It's easier to stay on autopilot than to stop and ask yourself, is this taking me anywhere? But the good news is that every habit can be broken. Not overnight, but one step at a time, with small changes, small victories, and every time you act differently, even if it seems insignificant, you weaken the old pattern and strengthen a new path. Wealth, after all, is not a destination. It is a mental construct. It is the result of small decisions repeated with intention and awareness. Many people expect a financial miracle, but the real miracle is realizing that behavior changes everything, that no one needs luck or an inheritance to turn the game around, just a little more truth, courage, and discipline. Now, pause. Think calmly. Of these 7 habits, which one still lives inside you? And which one will be the first one you will pull out by the roots? Because each habit abandoned is one less brick in the prison of scarcity, and each new attitude is a key turning in the direction of freedom. If this video made you see something that previously went unnoticed, click the like button now and subscribe to the channel to continue on this journey with people. After all, the path to financial freedom doesn't start with $1 million. It starts with a decision that no one sees. But that changes everything. See you in the next video. Until then, keep building, one step at a time.